Hello, welcome to another one of my videos. It's a beautiful spring day. I just had to come to the park and enjoy the beautiful weather. And I've seen it myself a lot lately. I think it's no secret that Watchtower is definitely losing members and going more on a downhill decline rather than up, like losing members, and I just wanted to share my 2 cents and thoughts on it. Sorry. Let's see, from the time I went, okay, one reason, okay, I want to start off with going to congregations. Over the years, I definitely noticed that there always seemed to be a lot more older members than younger. There were families with kids, yeah, but a lot were like 50 and over. And I think the issue that you're clearly starting to see with Watchtower is with the older members. They tend to be more hardcore, and I think they tend to get more money out of them. Ultimately, they're the ones that will donate more. They're the ones that will leave their bank accounts and houses to Watchtower. And I think just over the next 10 to 20 years, as these older ones start to die off, I think it's going to have more of an effect on the organization, especially seeing how also that the only growth they're really seeing is in Africa and South America, I believe, whereas other countries like North America, it's going down. And the ones that are in Africa, South America, like other parts of the world, they tend to be a lot poorer, not as wealthy, so they won't be able to donate as much. I think that's one reason for sure how they're gonna lose money. That might be behind why they're selling off so many kingdom halls now. And, you know, just downsizing, less literature. Like, clearly they're trying to, anybody can see they're trying to save money is definitely behind it. And the younger ones, especially with the age of the internet, yay, a lot more of the younger ones are waking up. And I'm sure they have, I hate to say it, but I think there's a lot of half-hearted witnesses in the truth, or should I say more of PMOs. It's sad that Watchtower puts a lot of young ones in the situation that they have to, that they feel very stuck and trapped, because the only way out is to lose all your family because of their stupid shunning policies, rules. Okay, another reason, the child abuse and the child pedophile problem. I think it's sad for any organization to have this kind of problem. It's so wrong. And it's all because they don't view it as a sin. They don't view it as a crime. They view it as a sin. Therefore, they choose to just hide it and try to keep it hidden from authorities. And it's sad, and it's causing many ones to leave, rightly so. And Watchtower's losing a lot of money with the lawsuits around the world. And I just have praise for the people and the countries and the governments that are bringing them to hold them accountable for this kind of thing, because it's wrong and it shouldn't go on. Another reason I think they're losing members. Another reason I think Watchtower is definitely going downhill, they're losing members. I think that's the real reason why they don't print the yearbook anymore. I was always kind of one that, like, 8 million members around the world. That's, yep, that's a big number. Like, that's semi-impressive to me. I don't know, the world is 8 billion people in total. So 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses, that's not really, like, that's a lot, but it's like, it's not a ton. And I think the numbers are shrinking, and clearly Watchtower's trying to keep that covered up. That's why they're don't print the yearbook, and I say, hey, the more who leave and wake up, the better. Because you're not in... If you want a religion that truly lives by the Bible, I'm sorry, Watchtower is not it. Sorry. Another reason I think why Watchtower is ultimately shrinking a lot. I think especially when you grow up in that kind of religion, what they try to teach you about the outside world is just not true. They try to, you can't trust the world. It's just full of evil people. Everybody's religion is wrong except ours. A very black and white view of the world, and they really teach you to, and they really want you to, like, fear the world, and such a distrust for, like, worldly people. And you're really doing your people a disservice, Watchtower. Especially the young ones. And how lonely they feel because they can't have any friends unless they're another Jehovah's Witness. Like, and I think, like, creating that false reality and perception of the world is definitely to your detriment. Because clearly a lot are waking up to the fact that, you know, the world is not as bad and evil as you make it out to be. I think more people need to know that. To anyone watching this, there's good people out in the world. There's even good churches out there. There's lots of good things. There's bad too, yes. But the world is definitely more of it's a good place. It's not as evil as Watchtower would have you believe. Trust me. Like, come on. Watchtower, you're setting especially young ones up, you're setting them up for failure is what you're really doing. Especially when you even add to that, like, don't go to college or university. Just be a cleaner, a janitor. You know? And then even with, like, jobs like that, no wonder your donations can't. Well, that's kind of another topic too, I guess. Another thing which I kind of love touching on, all the false dates. How many times can you cry wolf? And the nerve of a religion to predict lots of false dates like 1975 and then blame the members. You know, a little bit of sarcasm. I'm surprised they didn't try to have their members believe that the Mayan calendar was correct. You know, like another false date, but they kind of believed it. Like, everybody knew that was, but to me, it's like, that's a perfect example of, like, how Watchtower tries to push things. Like, you know, it must be true. Well, the math works out, so it must be true. It must have some truth to it. Where it's just a Mayan calendar that predicts, no, not predicts, it's just that ended on December 21st, 2012. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean the end of the world. Like, talk about taking things way too literally. And not only that, I think the members fail to realize too that Watchtower takes Armageddon totally out of context, or how all the events, they got it totally messed up. It's not right. It's all like, wow. That's just one thing I realized more, that like they have their members, they convince their members that, you know, you stay in Watchtower and you'll know your Bible well, and that's not really the truth. Whereas, you know, they got it wrong, and yet they'll never admit it. And I'm like, don't hold your breath on that one. They are never going to admit to it. Okay, I think, now, my biggest reason why I think Watchtower is slowly sinking and losing lots of members, I think it's kind of no secret. Or, I mean, a no-brainer, I should say. A no-brainer. The internet? You know, long gone are the days, and it sounds like really old-timey now. Long gone are the days. I grew up just like kind of the ending of the period where if you had to do a project for school or an assignment, all you had was encyclopedias. Or like go to the library and see what books you could find to do research. You did not have the information on the internet like you did today. And even in the early days of the internet, like I always like to point out, you didn't have the information like you do today, or the availability. Like when I was, okay, I'm not that old. The internet was around, but not like it is today. By that I just say mainly the social media. Like social media, YouTube, like smart devices. I think like a lot, I used to go online to play. I used to use a computer for games more than anything else. Certain games you could play online. There's some that I miss. There's a website that used to have multiplayer games that you could go in, and it had like chat rooms too, but I think they took those away in 2014, I think. But my point is, with the internet, like, there is so much available information wise. Like, it's getting harder and harder for them for Watchtower to try to hide the truth. And I thought one perfect examples were like Watchtower just deny. So like, something like what, 1975 or 607 BCE. Okay, so Watchtower, so you're honestly gonna sit there and tell us that nope, they got it wrong. They way back then, they must have somehow recorded the wrong date. Jehovah put it in their heart to somehow record it wrong to make Watchtower right. Like, really? I think clearly it's a lot easier to pull back the curtains and reveal the real truth about Watchtower. And I would even give a small piece of advice: if anybody has older Watchtower literature, if they can, hold on to it. Don't throw it away or burn it. Hold on to it, because I think it's going to be a little bit more valuable. There are books that you can't get online. I believe, like, some of their really old literature, I don't think it would be super easy to find, so I think it would be valuable for people to hold on to a physical copy of it. Because, I think I say that because one advantage Watchtower has with their website and the internet, okay, yeah, it's harder for them to hide information, but when it comes to other websites, when it comes to their own website, I know they also have the ability to edit, like, very much control what kind of literature is on there, is on their own website, and edit it, and even, like, make changes to make it say what they want to say. Like, you can't do that with a physical copy of the book. And I just think less magazines and books being published. Man, when I went several years, when I went to the conventions, there would be like at least one or two new books released, or DVDs when they started getting into more of that, and tracks, like, and nowadays their focus is on movies and like film. And can I just say, JW Broadcasting and all the movies they make, they suck. They do. They really suck. I never got into them. There was one, I think there was like one or two of the much older movies that I liked, but that was about it. Like, when I got the DVDs at a convention, everybody got a free copy. Yeah, I would take it home, but then I would never watch it unless they were, like, for a part on the meeting and you had to answer, and, you know, you had to watch it and fill out the questions. So I didn't, the movies are not entertaining. I think they, as hard as they try, they're not presenting a realistic perception of the outside world, and it's, ugh, they suck. And JW Broadcasting came into being in 2014, and you know what? I think, no, it is. They did exactly what they said what they would not do at one point. Just JW Broadcasting is basically televangelism. And I always felt like bullied and kind of pushed a bit, because it's always the message, it's always like the underlying messages, like, if you don't have Bible studies, you're no good. If you don't pioneer, you're no good. Like, God, give me a break. Then if you're really, and then one thing I'd really like to bring out, like, about that is that's pushing more of a works-based religion. A real relationship with God should be based on, like, just that, not how many people you can recruit into your religion. Now, there's a big area where Watchtower gets it wrong. And the Caleb and Sophia videos, oh my gosh. Ugh. I think, I love any video, anybody that wants to criticize all these JW videos, oh yeah. I'd say the more the better. I love it. Because they really do suck. And the Zoom, and all the Zoom meetings now. You know what? That's another reason I thought of all, it's because of COVID. They can no longer congregate in person. They have all Zoom meetings now. And I think just people not being able to get together in person as much, I think is going to have a detrimental effect on them. I know there's a possibility they might go back to Kingdom Halls after COVID, maybe. Who knows? But I think it's definitely not being able to gather and associate like they could before is going to have a negative effect on them. And you know, COVID is tough, it's rough, but I think it's brought about a unique opportunity for some Jehovah's Witnesses who are currently still in. This is actually a good opportunity for more who are woken up to leave, to really fade, those who want to fade rather than just outright leave. This is a good opportunity, you know, just, oh, my internet's not working great, or like it'd be easier to just kind of disappear during this COVID. And what I also, and it's finally happened, they cannot go door to door and bother people at home. Well, I know they, I'm surprised they don't try carts in some other cities, but, you know, oh well. Because I would think that they could still do that and be a little bit COVID safe, but no. But, you know, hey, we'd rather not see carts anyways. And some of them some witnesses are claiming that their letter writing and phone calling is having success. You know, my thoughts on it, I think the novelty is gonna wear off pretty quickly for people. I don't think it's gonna have as much long-term success as they think it will. You know, it's just all too easy to block that phone number or throw away that letter. I think you might even see some that write a nasty letter back to them. And you know what, I thought of something where the letter writing where I live, at least, a basic stamp, even for just local mail, like delivery, the stamps are like $1 each. So like to do 100 homes is $100. Like that's not super cheap. I don't know if we would see some that just go and mail it personally rather than to the homes, rather than mailing it in the mail. But you know, when it comes to certain people, I don't think it's a smart idea or the best idea to write an unsolicited letter trying to push your religion. If I was a witness, I would certainly not want to give out my personal address. I don't even know if I'd want to give out my email. So I think they might see a lot of backlash for the letter writing and the phone calls. As for phone witnessing, when I was in, the phone witnessing was pretty much dead. There wasn't a whole lot of it, and it was a lot to do because the phone numbers they had were only landlines, and they were very outdated, and you would still get a lot. I did it a few times because, you know, I liked it a little bit better than going door to door, so I did it a few times, but I kind of quit after a bit because you would either get no answer on the phone, well, hey, or it would, like, this number is no longer in service. You know, one thing about the phone witnessing, you know, where I live, I don't know how you would go about getting a huge list of cell phone numbers, but I imagine it would be more difficult. They would still have to rely more on landline numbers, which means ultimately that they won't be able to reach as many people over the phone if they only have landlines and not cell phone numbers. Yeah. Ugh. Oh yeah, you know what? So those are all my reasons why I think Watchtower is really sinking, going downhill. You know, I don't know if we'll ever see it disappear completely, but it's definitely losing members. A lot of members. It's not. And hey, you know what? I encourage anybody, like, research Jehovah's Witnesses, do lots of research, read other translations of the Bible. There's lots of videos on YouTube you can watch from XJWs like me, and lots of other good ones. There's a lot of great channels out there of XJWs, and you know, you can trust the XJWs like me, because we know what it was like. This month just passed. Oh yeah, this month just passed on April 12th. I was baptized April 12th, 2003. I was baptized at an assembly because I felt it was just a little bit more personal rather than at a big convention. And this past April 12th, if I had stayed in that religion, this past April 12th would have marked 18 years baptized for me. Ugh. Oh man, you know what? It's a milestone and anniversary that I'm glad I did not reach. Because you're not really baptizing God's name, you're dedicating yourself to an organization and a cult, not God or a religion. The more people that can escape the Jehovah's Witnesses, I think the better. Because it's not the truth. Like, you need to wake up to reality. It's not the truth. They got the Bible wrong. You know, it might be easy to deny that at first and assume I just hate it, and assume I'm just angry and bitter because I left. Oh, yeah. No. I'd say I'd say no. Do your research and really think. It's wrong, it's not correct, it's not religion, it's not the right religion. And you know what, the more people, I think people need to know. Watchtower, they have you believe that everyone who's left is just angry and bitter and hateful, and yeah, right. Oh man, they just don't want you, you know, they tell you that because they just don't want you to know, like, the real truth. They definitely have you in a cage, in a bubble that they definitely want to keep you in. And that's not good. And I'm here to burst the bubble and break the locks and tear down the walls. Anyways, that's all I wanted to share for today. thank you everybody for watching. Like and subscribe if you like, and have yourselves a great day. Thanks. Bye.